This is the group chat. In a world that focuses on the individual, we live life in groups. The group chat is meant to spark meaningful conversations about meaningful topics. We think in community, talk in community, and thrive in community. Welcome to the group chat. Yo, 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 what's up, muggles? It's your boy Telos. And this is the group chat where we have meaningful conversations about meaningful topics. Hi, Annabeth.
Hi, Telos.
Are you going to address what I called everybody?
I don't know what that is.
Everybody who's with me, guess 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. A muggle? Well, I'm not like surprised.
It's got to be like a Star Wars or Harry Potter thing.
There it is. Which one?
Harry Potter.
Is that a final answer?
You're making me second guess myself. A muggle.
It is one of those.
Oh, I was going to also ask if it was a Lord of the Rings thing. Okay. Muggle.
A muggle.
I'm going to go Harry Potter, yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Correct. It is a muggle.
Great.
You filthy muggle. Actually,
That
Draco
sounds...
really says like he's like, so a mudblood. I've called people mudbloods before.
Yes, you have.
And a mudblood is somebody who is, so there's like a pure blood, like a Draco Malfoy, whose parents, it's actually very bad. It's like very racist and prejudiced.
A muggle is bad?
No, like this system I'm about to explain.
Oh, okay.
Because Draco Malfoy, he's like this pure wizard. His parents are great, excellent wizards, even though they're kind of evil. But anyway, so he is born from two wizard parents. I was about to go into a rabbit, but the self-control I had.
Just don't.
You see, I withheld myself.
Just get
So
to it.
both of his parents are wizards.
Okay.
When one of your parents is a wizard and one is a muggle, which is a non-wizard, what the wizards call non-wizards, you're a mudblood because you have mixed blood. It's very crude. It's not appropriate.
Yeah.
And then a muggle is somebody who's not a wizard.
Okay.
So muggle, no wizards. Mudbloods are people who have parents that one is a wizard and one isn't. And then
wizards.
Like a Draco Malfoy is like both his parents are wizards. I don't know what you call that. Maybe like a pure blood, I guess.
If you were in Harry Potter world.
Oh, a pure blood.
Okay.
Both my parents. Yeah. I want to be like her. It's like I was born to be a wizard.
Okay.
People are going to be like, tell us, stop doing witch magic stuff. It's against the Bible.
I'm
joking.
Anything
I'm
of
joking.
What you're talking about.
Like that's me doing a wand.
I understand
yes,
that.
And I'm saying people are going to get mad at me for being like, Wingardium Leviosa.
Whatever.
You are already over this.
I don't care about it. That's the thing.
It's so important to culture.
It's not.
Harry Potter?
Important. I don't know if that's the word that that you should use there.
Let me think about it.
And you're going to say, yeah, it's right.
Thinking
is the word I'm going to use.
It's very important. Harry Potter is like the best children's book ever sold. Only thing better is the Bible.
Have you read them?
Have I? Up to 5. The fifth, the fourth one, Goblet of Fire. 7 books, 8 movies.
7 books, 8 movies.
I wonder if I can do it in order. I'm just gonna do it. And
I
if I get it
won't
wrong,
know.
it's Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone. I think like they changed the name, like of the book or the movie, or they changed it later because I've seen both, but I'm pretty sure it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Are you doing movies or books in order?
We'll do movies. They're the same thing, but yeah, like they do the same order. But like, so Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, you can do books. Harry Potter and the second one is the.
Oh, I didn't mean to click on
that. In the dungeon. Oh no, what is it? Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter and the Secret Chamber. The what chamber? Chamber of Secrets. There it is, the Secret Chamber, Chamber of Secrets. 3 is the Prisoner of Azkaban. 4.
Spell Azkaban.
A-Z, Kaban. The 4th one is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yes.
The 5th one is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. The 6th one is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. The 7th one is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. If you're looking at movies, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2.
I am looking at movies.
Ding!
I'm mad about this.
I like Harry Potter. It's fun. It's such an interesting world.
I'm happy for you.
Muggle. Okay.
All right,
If
well,
you
what are we
had
at?
to be,
Okay.
all right, my last question. I'm not done with it yet. If you had to be a Muggle, a pureblood, or a mudblood, what would you be?
A pureblood, of course.
There you go.
I have no explanation. I just am confident that that's
Great.
what I would probably be.
Great.
Moving on. What are we talking about today?
I just have a fun question for you. That's a pretty short, and I know your answer, but I think it's a fun question. If you could either, what would you rather? Never be able to grow any hair anywhere, or never be able to cut any of your hair anywhere?
Probably not be able to cut my hair.
Yeah, that's what I thought you would say.
Yeah.
For me, it's pretty simple. Never be able to grow hair. Like, I'm just like, yeah.
You're not gonna have
Being
eyebrows.
Yeah, it'll be weird.
Or eyelashes.
It would be weird to get used to, like initially, but then
It'd be fine.
you'd learn to love me.
Sure thing.
I'd learn to love me. That's all that matters. Pretty simple. Do you have any reason for that?
I like my hair a lot.
Be down to your toes.
I could pull it out.
No, like your hair is invincible. Like
Yeah.
you cannot.
I could get a strand and like there was a girl that I went to high school with. And oh my goodness, it would annoy me so much. She would be sitting in class and she would just be listening and going like this, and then she would look down at her hair and like pick off her split end. Do you know what split ends are?
In theory, I do.
Okay, so your hair, like a strand of hair. Oh, here's one right here. Do you see that?
Absolutely not. I'm squinting so hard.
Do
to
you
try and
see
it.
like that strand? Here, let me come close.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so she would like do this. So you can, let me show you.
Are you about to pull it? What does that do? What does that do? What does that do? What are you doing? What does that do?
It's not good for your hair. That means you need to get a haircut. But I guess she had a lot of them all the time. And she would just, like, they would bug her. And so she would
just pull it.
She would just, like,
But doesn't that solve the problem?
She would go like this. And just, like.
Doesn't that solve the problem? It's not a split
Yeah, but it's
end
not
anymore,
good for
right?
your hair. Because you're splitting that one strand of hair. And that's not good. That makes it it makes it weaker.
Makes the hair weaker?
Well, yeah, because like it's much more thin. Because think like I
Oh,
just
but at
split
the
that
root
in
though,
half.
right?
Yeah, but like your end will be like super thin if you're doing that all the time. Anyways,
Could you tell if a girl has split ends from this distance?
100%. Yes.
From this distance?
Yes.
How? You
It's
can't see that. Your eyes aren't that good.
Yeah, you can. Like I need to get my hair cut right now.
So if like a hairdresser walked in this room, she'd be like, "Oh, you have split ends."
100%.
Just
Yeah.
It's incredible. I did not know that. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Mhm.
If you pay me $1 million, I could not tell you who has split ends and who doesn't. If you line 10 girls up, do guys get split ends?
Mhm.
Nope, didn't know that either. Well, it makes sense. But if you lined up 20 people, sat them across from me, our distance said who has split ends and who doesn't, I would say you can take your money. Or I will not get this correct. Ain't no way.
Well, yeah.
Great. You want to ask me what we're talking about?
Sure. What are we talking about today?
Well, first, can I get a good old HB drum roll real quick? You didn't even complain on that one. Praise God.
I'm over it.
We're
Tell us.
growing. What we're talking about today is laziness. Laziness.
Exciting, riveting topic.
Help, HB. I'm lazy. I'm lazy. So, do you consider yourself a lazy or a What's the opposite of lazy?
Driven, I would say.
I would say
Is
driven.
that what you were going to say?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Driven, right?
I would say driven.
Yeah. I think I looked up the definition.
Of lazy?
Yeah. And it says a lazy person is
A slothful person.
define
That's what
slothful.
Isn't that what the Bible calls it?
Yeah, one of like
Slothful.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like one of the 7 deadly sins. But actually, no, I don't think that term is in the Bible. I think that people are just like slothful and all the anyway, blah blah blah. Laziness is disinclined to work or exertion. Disinclined to work or exertion. What do you think is the difference between a lazy person and a driven person?
Worlds.
Do you know some lazy people?
Yeah, for sure. But here's the thing. I wouldn't say that their whole life is lazy. I would say certain parts of their life are lazy. Like they are lazy in this aspect of their life.
So would you consider that a lazy person if they're just lazy in certain places?
Not necessarily. Like I wouldn't categorize them as a lazy person. Like I wouldn't say, like if it were you, I wouldn't say, oh, Telos is lazy in this area, so Telos is a lazy person.
So do you know any lazy people?
Like personally?
Yeah. Like you know anybody that's just
I don't think so.
They are just like
not that I'm aware of.
Disinclined to work or exertion.
Not that I'm maybe so. But like I can't call them lazy because they're a whole like mom. And I'm thinking there's no way you're lazy if you're a mom. I don't know.
Well, you could be.
Yeah, you could be. But like I know she's not.
I wonder if I know any lazy people.
But I think also, are you,
Sure
I think even like I was saying with maybe lazy in certain aspects, is that according to me and like, oh, I think they're lazy in those aspects or like the world? Because like you may have different opinions on like, oh, well, I think if you work out 1 day a week, you're lazy. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Or if you work out 3 days a week, you're lazy.
Sure. You could say like, is laziness, what's the opposite of objective? Subjective. Is laziness subjective? That's a question.
Yeah.
I think yes, obviously it is.
Sure.
Am I lazy compared to LeBron James? Probably, activity wise. He works out every single day. Am I lazy compared to, I won't say another person, but on the other end, like probably not. They probably think, oh, you're a pretty active person. You do X, Y, and Z. And in the difference between like somebody who's lazy and somebody who's whatever word you want to use, driven, that you're willing, or maybe we'll just use the opposite of the definition of lazy, that you are inclined to work or exertion. What is wrong with being lazy? So like, let's say you are just lazy in the aspect of school, for example. Like you just do not work well at school, period. You just like, I don't like it. I'm not inclined to it. I will avoid it if I can. I don't want to do school in any form or fashion. Go to school, do homework, do projects, study for exams, all of that. What is wrong with being lazy?
I think we're called to work to an extent.
Mm-hmm,
like we're supposed to work. And when I think the world would say that when someone who is lazy is they're not doing work. They're stagnant. They're not moving forward. They're maybe even moving backwards, you know? And so I think to say to a student who is, so that's like their work at that point in their life, you know? And so for them to just disregard it, I don't think that's right. There's it's somewhere in Proverbs. There's probably multiple verses in Proverbs about this. But it's something about like the person who is slack in their work is like a brother to destruction or something like that. And I think about like that's what I think about when you said that. I'm like, okay, not this.
Your future is destruction if you don't make your bed.
And
God
like,
will destroy you.
Okay. But just like the tendencies that you have in your life, like it's like one thing when you allow one little bit of laziness, like it's easy, just like innocent sin, to creep into other areas of your life. And then it gets to be easy for it to flow into the rest of the pockets of your life. And then it does become destructive. Yeah.
Because I agree. And in the thought of like somebody being lazy, you mentioned like it's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to work. If somebody doesn't believe in God, like there's no point, like, or at least I don't have a creator who intends anything. if they don't believe that we're meant to work, is there a negative? What if what if somebody's totally content with getting by in school with D's, passing, and saying, I do not care at all. This doesn't matter to me. The only reason I'm doing this is so I can get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or we could say whatever. It's the gym. It's you're lazy in terms of cooking or in terms of cleaning.
Yeah.
I'm content living in a dirty room.
Listen,
I'm content spending
not
money.
Cooking. I'm very content.
So somebody who's content not
Yes.
cooking, eating out all the
That's
time.
not being lazy,
right?
Though, let's be real.
Wow. I might disagree. I think I disagree. Like because I think you could be lazy and not cooking because you're saying it's simpler to eat out or have somebody else do it for me.
Well, so
and
the person who's doing it for me, that's their love language. And so I'm not going to interfere with that.
Doesn't mean that you're not lazy. Doesn't mean that you're not
but
lazy.
Also, when there's food provided for me,
Sure.
I'm not lazy then.
Yes, that does not. Their work does not make you unlazy. You're still lazy and not cooking. You just get it covered up because you're still eating.
I don't know about covered up. I will cook if I have to.
But didn't you just say you're content in being lazy and not cooking?
Yes, but I'm saying I will if I have to.
What's the go-to meal you're gonna cook? Like if you have to cook.
So define cook.
Oh my gosh, not a microwave.
Dang it! I was gonna say taquitos.
No, that's lazy. You're reinforcing my point. That's lazy. A microwave is lazy.
Nuking them joints.
I know you
Nuking.
are. Get ready for all those.
A go-to meal that I'm gonna cook.
The way you said that, absurd. You're asking me to cook.
If I'm being very honest.
Can't wait. You're gonna say spaghetti.
I don't know the last meal that I cooked.
Everyone on 3, gasp. 1, 2, 3.
Let me think.
Wow.
I know I cooked Thanksgiving last year.
You haven't cooked in a year? Oh my God.
Well, that's
how are you alive?
the kitchen downstairs at church and Chick-fil-A, and I'm crying. Okay.
You use a stove in a year?
No, I have, but
Do you know where your oven is? You got a preheat oven?
No, but here's what I'm like. I would say.
Have you bought an onion in a year?
Shut up. No, I don't like onions.
Of course you don't. Okay.
No, but like I've made not in my head. I've made like mac and cheese, but I know you're gonna be like, that's not a meal.
You're talking about like Easy Mac or something? Sure.
Not in a microwave, but on the stovetop. I make that all the time. For kids I babysit for. I don't care. I still made it. Why is that funny? But I'm very. I know.
Oh, that's
I know
great.
that I cooked Thanksgiving.
Please stop saying that.
But I cooked everything. Everything.
You got your cooking for the year.
I did, and it lasted about a year. Not really, but.
Oh my gosh. So things like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and to be honest, I'm not calling you lazy. I'm saying.
Yes, you are. You just laughed in my face.
I am saying that somebody else's work does not mean that you aren't lazy. I agree with that statement.
I agree with that.
But I don't know if you're lazy with cooking. I'm just saying that just because someone else cooks doesn't mean that. So, like if it's like, I don't like cleaning the house or whatever, and the house is always clean because I live with my sister and she does it. That doesn't mean that I'm not lazy in cleaning the house. That just means that somebody else is cleaning the house.
Sure.
So I'm still lazy.
Yeah.
But the job's just getting done. And so the fruit is happening. That's like somebody going to school and being like, well, I'm passing the class. It's like, but you're not trying at all.
Sure.
Like you could do so much more.
Better. You could ace the class, but you're just scooting by with the C.
Exactly. And so I think like one thing that I think is the difference between somebody who's driven and somebody who's lazy isn't what I think some people think it is, or at least it's I don't think it's intention. So I do not believe that intention is the difference, partly because what you said, like some people could be lazy in some areas and driven in others. And so that I don't think it's fair to say to somebody, you're a lazy person because you get D's and you could be getting A's.
Sure. There are some people who could be working their butt off to get a D, you know?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And in that, I don't agree with the notion that's like just this, in terms of like, I could be getting A's, but I'm getting D's because I don't care. That whole mindset, I don't think is healthy. I don't think it's a good mindset to have. And I think a lot of people have it. Now, I'm not like condemning somebody being like, oh, school's not for me. I'm not saying that like school is for you and you're just not trying hard enough. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, yeah, you put your effort into the things that you care about. And the reason why I don't think it's merely just intention is because I believe the difference between a driven person and a lazy person is action.
Sure.
Very simply. And I think sometimes we're like, well, the heart behind it, or the intention, or how you feel, or the extenuating circumstances. And I think it just goes into the conversation of like this idea of grit. That's like, when you don't want to do something, do you do it? And then the question is, how do you do it? And I think that's something that is so important to learn, not just in a Christian world where our lives are centered partly around giving up our lives to do what we would not do for someone who did something for us. Even in a secular world, it's productive to yourself, to your community, and to your family to do things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I think grit, that go get 'em, that the job is gonna get done is super important. And the difference between somebody who gets something done and somebody who doesn't is not intention, it's not capability, it's not their heart, it's not how bad they want it, it's simply action. And do you do it?
Yeah.
And so I think like if you're talking about a lazy person, it sounds so, and I'm not claiming that I have this revelation that's like, well, the difference between somebody who's lazy and somebody who's driven is action, obviously. And yet a lot of people just don't commit to the action and they have the intention to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I totally agree with what you're saying. I think there are different parts of, everyone's life that, lazy or not, at the end of the day, I think it is your action, but also I feel like if it's important to you, like I would have a messy room, but like I don't like living in a messy space, and so therefore I'm going to clean my room. With food, I've realized that I don't really care about food. Like I'm going to eat it because I need it, but like I don't care how I'll eat like a random assortment of stuff.
Can't relate.
Yeah, but I think that's part of why I don't enjoy cooking, because it's not like the actual food is not so much important to me, unless like, especially if I'm eating like by myself, I'm like, oh, I'm going to eat some ham and cheese roll up and cucumbers. Like
cucumbers are like 60% water, aren't they?
Have you ever had these cucumbers from Costco? They're called poppers, and they're like this big around, and they're super crunchy. They're like little. They're like this big around, like this long. They're so good.
I wonder how Costco got the cucumbers so small.
I don't know. Tell us.
Why was there sass? That was a genuine question.
But
I'm wondering.
I think along with action is like, is it important to you?
Sure.
I think helps figure out if like you're lazy in a certain area or not.
Sure.
Because there are things that like I don't love doing. I don't love cleaning, but it's important to me, so I'm going to do it. Yeah.
And then I think it's the perspective too. Can you see beyond right now?
Absolutely.
Right now you don't want to do it, and you know that that future you will thank you for past you.
Yes.
And I think about how often we just think about what we're doing in the moment right now, for now, how convenient it is to us, not even thinking about, not even just like 10 years down the road, but literally 10 days later, a day later, are you going to be happy that you cleaned your room or sad that you cleaned your room?
Yeah.
I've never been sad that I cleaned my room.
You know, that's so funny. I was leaving a workout this week, and I was with my mom. Started working out with me. She's so sweet, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tired when we were doing this." Da, 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 da. And I was like, "Yeah, I was too." But there's like in this like season of my life, I feel like there's two things that I like don't regret at all, and it's whenever I'm reading my Bible or like spending time with the Lord, and when I finish a workout. Like I might not enjoy it so much in the moment, but afterwards I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so glad I did that. And in the same sense of what you're talking about of like future you and present you, you know, but always enjoy a workout and my time with the Lord.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that perspective of being able to see beyond where you currently are, I think is so useful, not just as a teenager, not just as a working adult, not just as a member of society, but even thinking prospectively. And if you're following Christ, what you mentioned, reading your Bible, spiritual disciplines, seeing beyond what it is right now. And at the end of the day, just baseline life. A lot of it is spent doing what you don't want to do.
Facts.
And it sucks sometimes, man.
We don't get to all be travel vloggers, you know?
No. And even yes.
You know that they have tough days.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I hope
their job is to show us the high. You said you hope they have tough days?
That's so mean.
Their job is to show us their highlights.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. If you could tell a lazy person who wants to not be lazy anymore one thing, what would you tell them?
To like think about the person that they want to be and how do they get there, because they know that being lazy is not going to get them there. Unless they're like, well, I'm content being a lazy person. But if they don't want to be, think about the person you want to be, and then how can you get there? Take some practical steps of how to get there.
Yeah. Think about who you want to be straight up. I think it exists, but every time I look it up, I can't find it. There's this thing, I thought it was called Kepler's Law, and it's this idea. Is it 100 or 0?
I don't know.
Because I thought that was a thing. It might be a law. I might be referring to the wrong thing, but this idea of 100 or 0, so all or nothing. It's easier to if you're going on a diet and you're saying I am only going to have 30 grams of sugar in a week. What is it?
Kepler's Law is about planets.
Okay, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, Johannes Kepler. He's the planet guy.
All planets move about the sun in elliptical orbits. It's like 3 different laws. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, that's not it.
Anyways, I was like, that is a thing.
It is a thing,
I don't know
but
what
it's
it is,
not.
But anyways, yeah. Sorry.
And so if you want to go on a diet and you're saying, I only want to eat 30 grams of sugar a day, or a week, or whatever. You just sum it up, and then at that point, now you have to make decisions on when you're going to eat the sugar, how you're going to eat the sugar, and what way that sugar is going to. Do I drink a Coke? Do I get a Snickers? Do I get a Reese's? Do I save it all for one junk day? Do I eat it throughout the week? And those things make following the diet really hard because you get to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And so it's easier to say, I'm going to eat all sugar whenever I want, or I'm not going to have any sugar. And the point that I'm getting at for somebody who feels like they're struggling with laziness is make up your mind. Make a predetermined decision.
Yeah.
Make some pre-made decisions that say, on Fridays, I clean my room.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens. That's not the question. I've already made up my mind that on Friday I'm going to clean my room. 100%. Not, I'm going to clean my room when it gets dirty or when I feel like it. Because that's exhausting. Then you can always say, well, I'm just going to do it tomorrow.
Push it.
Well, I'm just going to do it.
And then you're like,
day.
It's not that dirty.
Exactly. Man can reason his way out of anything.
Yeah.
And so make a predetermined decision. If you're saying, I am going to, but the catch is in that with my answer of make a predetermined decision, it only matters in things that you can control. So you can't say, I'm going to get 4 A's and 1 B this semester.
Right.
That's not up to you. You can say, I will study for 2 hours every day.
Yeah, that's good.
That's up to you. And so then you make decisions that affect the outcome.
Sure.
Now, will that make you a clean person? I don't know, but your room will be clean. Will that make you a valedictorian? I don't know, but you'll get a better grade.
Yeah.
And so I think to put in like just basic terms, make a pre-made decision in areas of your life. And then at that point, it's not necessarily are you lazy or not, or it could still be are you lazy or not. But at that point, you are then saying, am I honest to myself? Maybe you even tell a friend, am I honest to myself? And it's as simple as, am I going to do what I said I was going to do?
Right.
And so that's helped me.
Yeah, that's good. I think there's like the discipline in it too. Like
Absolutely.
that goes beyond.
Absolutely. And it can be as simple as I'm going to check my email from 2:30 to 3 p.m. every day. And that's how I'm going to manage my email. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what's going on. That's what I do for those 30 minutes.
I read a book about this very successful Christian author, Lisa Turkhurst. And she does this, it's like a women's ministry called Proverbs 31. And one of the things that she said was that there was a time in her life where she knew she was called to write. She's written tons of books at this point, but she decided that, during between the hours of 12 and 1, I'm just going to start writing. And that's usually when I go out to lunch with friends or do this, that, and the other. But I know that I'm called to write. And so I'm just going to have to say no, like for this season. And then like next thing you know, like she's releasing these books. But like she was like, I knew that if I had not cultivated that discipline at that time, then like it would have never happened just because my days were so busy. What are you doing?
I got distracted. I saw through all these little lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just
Absolutely.
like setting that time aside to do something that she wanted to do, but she didn't have the discipline like at the time to do it. And so therefore she was like, no, it doesn't matter. Like I will have to push my schedule aside or someone else's schedule aside so that I'm going to do this. And so.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's not called Kepler's Law, then copyright, trademark, dibs. Nobody take it. It's mine now. Whatever that thing is, 100 or 0, it kind of helps me. I make 0 allowance I go to the gym every day. I go to the gym 6 times a week. I don't care. I'm going 6 times a week or whatever. Or I'm not going to the gym. Or I'm not eating sugar. I'm not going to drink. No, I'm not going to eat fast food. Great. Have any more thoughts on laziness?
Nope.
Any thoughts on drivenness?
Drivenness. I think drivenness is better than laziness. Personal opinion, maybe?
Cleanliness is next to godliness. All right, everybody. Well, this is the group chat where we have meaningful conversations about meaningful topics. I'm Telos.
I'm HB.
Make sure you muggles have a great week. And remember, guys, this is the group chat. So take this conversation to your group because this is the group chat where we think in community, we talk in community, and we thrive. You were early. Thrive in community. You guys are the best. I was starting it. I set the pace and you said thrive. Love you guys so much. Bye.
Bye.